It was a dark and stormy night when 16-year-old Emily and her friends decided to go camping in the woods. They had heard stories of strange creatures and ghosts that roamed the forest, but they were determined to have a fun and spooky adventure. Little did they know that their camping trip would turn into a nightmare. As they set up their tents and started a campfire, Emily noticed that one of her friends was missing. They searched the area but couldn't find her. Suddenly, they heard a blood-curdling scream coming from deep in the woods. Emily and her friends were terrified, but they knew they had to find their missing friend. They grabbed flashlights and started walking towards the source of the scream. As they got deeper into the woods, they heard strange noises and saw shadows moving in the trees. Emily's heart was pounding in her chest, and she felt like they were being watched. Suddenly, they saw a figure in the distance. It was a girl, but she looked different. Her skin was green, her teeth were brown, and her smile was twisted into a look of insanity. Emily and her friends were paralyzed with fear as the girl started walking towards them. The girl spoke in a voice that sounded like nails on a chalkboard. "You shouldn't be here," she said. "This is my forest, and I don't like visitors." Emily and her friends tried to run, but the girl was too fast. She grabbed one of them and dragged her into the darkness. Emily and her remaining friends were now alone in the woods, with no idea where to go. They heard the girl's laughter echoing through the trees, and they knew they had to find a way out. They started running, but they soon realized that they were lost. As they stumbled through the woods, they saw strange symbols carved into the trees. They heard whispers and felt cold breath on the back of their necks. Emily and her friends were terrified, but they knew they had to keep moving. Finally, they saw a light in the distance. It was a cabin, and they knew they had to get there. As they got closer, they saw that the door was open. They cautiously entered the cabin, but they found no one inside. Suddenly, they heard a voice behind them. "I've been waiting for you," it said. They turned around and saw the girl from the woods. She was holding a knife, and her eyes were filled with madness. Emily and her friends tried to run, but the girl was too fast. She chased them through the cabin, laughing maniacally. They ran into a room and locked the door, but they knew it wouldn't hold for long. As they huddled together, Emily realized that they were trapped. They were alone in the woods with a crazed girl who wanted to kill them. They had no way to call for help, and they were too far from civilization to escape. Hours passed, and the girl was still outside the door. Emily and her friends were exhausted and scared. They knew they had to do something, or they would never make it out alive. Finally, they came up with a plan. They would distract the girl and run for their lives. They grabbed some objects from the room and threw them out the window. The girl was distracted, and they ran as fast as they could. They ran through the woods, not stopping until they reached a road. They flagged down a passing car and told the driver what had happened. The driver called the police, and they were rescued. Emily and her friends were traumatized by their experience in the woods. They never went camping again, and they never forgot the girl who haunted their nightmares. They learned that sometimes, the scariest stories are the ones that come true.